Alright, hope your holidays went well. We're starting off 2023 with a great budget kit for beginners. The Monsgeek M1 has a lot of features on paper, and when Akko first pitched this for me to review, it was kind of a no-brainer, so let's see what it's all about. I like the inclusion with the pre-cut tape and Teflon for the tape and force break mods respectively, and having screw and stabs included is nice too. The included cable though is just fine. I got the M1 in black, but there are 4 other colorways. Low-key, I kinda wish I asked for the purple one. It's actually really nice. Kicking off the build, the first thing I need to do is lube the stabs. You already know we're giving them the tried and true Crytox 205 grade 0 on the housing with XHT BDZ on the wires, nothing else to it. And then we're going to disassemble the case so I can install the stabs and then reassemble everything, while keeping all the foams in place because I want to hear this thing as intended for a first configuration. Now it's just a matter of adding the switches. They're nice enough to send some blue-gray lineage, which are pretty solid. I lubed these with Crytox 205 grade 0 to maximize their potential. And yes, this PCB is south-facing with RGB. And to top it off, these black and pink cherry profile keycaps. But before we get to the sound test, I want to talk about today's sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop shop to get all your electronic services covered. They have multiple PCB types with a ton of options to tailor exactly to your needs, and they also cover the casings of your electronics with 3D printing, sheet metal, CNC machining, and injection mold options with over 20 material options available. Currently, new users receive $5 off their first purchase, and their special offer PCBs go for 10 PCBs for $5 plus shipping. Thanks to PCBWay for making this video possible. Now let's get to the sound test. As someone who enjoys a higher pitched sound signature, I would stop here. It's loud and clacky without sounding too thin. The PE foam in here doesn't overpower the sound too much. There's a slight marbly tone, but it isn't too overbearing, and I'm a fan. There is next to no flex here, even with the polycarbonate plate, so any of the 4 plates shouldn't really affect the flex of the board too much. But let's try use the tape and force break mod to try change the sound up a little bit. It's really easy, just disassemble the case, take the backing off the tape, stick it to the PCB, put the foam back on. These stickers look more like stab pads than they do force break stickers. I didn't know if these were the Teflon ones that they were talking about, so I just did the mod with masking tape instead. Yeah, I don't really like how this sounds. It sounds good, but with the PE foam and tape mod, it's not for me. So I took it apart for a 3rd time just to remove the tape. I kept the force break strips though. This sounds nearly identical to the first config, but here's a quick sound test. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the Monsgeek M1. There's a lot of opportunities to tinker around with the board by adding or removing certain parts of the board. I think as a beginner, you'll learn a lot about the tinkering side of this hobby just with this board alone. I did try a thought config with some stuff I had laying around. Here's a quick sound test. It's not quite there, but I think after some trial and error we can get to a pretty thocky sounding keyboard. This board gets an easy recommend from me. The only gripe I have with the board is that the case picks up smudges and fingerprints really easily. So I would personally keep a microfiber cloth ready, or just a shirt works if you're lazy. I really like the design here with the gold accents. Personally, I find no use from the knob, and I found that sometimes it takes 2 clicks to get the knob to work, but that's like super nitpicky. When doing full rotations, you don't even notice it. I think they've already announced plans for an 1800 and TKL barebones with a similar format to the M1, which is kind of crazy. I feel like they're trying to speed run keyboard barebone kits. Hopefully the quality still remains throughout their next few releases, because for $99 I'm very satisfied with the M1. And with a little TLC, I think you can get it to fit whatever sound profile you're looking for. There is still the issue of flex for some people who may be looking for more than just a slightly bottom out feel. Luckily I just got a keyboard that takes flex to the extreme. See you next video.